Hi, this is Ruby from the Useful Journal. I was really proud of what I did in this journal, so I thought I'd take you through it. It has a leatherette cover. You can see a review on my website. It held together really well. There's a little bit of damage on the spine, but not too bad. So I had my title page for 2020. It started in January 2020. I had my future log. I had the whole year lined up in here. And then I went into January. My January theme was ice cream. When I started, I was still copying spreads. So this was based on a spread I'd found on Pinterest. This was a picture I'd found on Pinterest that I copied. So I hadn't really started branching out in my own designs. This was a little picture I found on Pinterest, but the rest of the layout was my own design. This was my goals for 2020. I did start playing with things myself, and this is also a variation, easy to look at. Then I moved into February. So very simple, you'll notice. They're just weeklies, that's all I did, nothing else. Now, in February that year, I went to New Zealand for 2 weeks for a holiday, so I wasn't going to be doing a lot of planning, so I simply used it to track what we did on that holiday. So this was my spread theme ideas for the year, and I actually worked this out at the beginning of the year, and I actually stuck to it. Weekly, another weekly. My first ever go at a Dutch door. Theme was flowers, by the way. Then I went into March, and the theme was Persian tiles, and I just did some lovely geometric designs. I actually really love that one. Some Persian lamps, more tiles. You can do a lot with this theme because you can just fit it around whatever you're doing. I was writing my master's thesis at the time, so this one I have always loved. I didn't stick to losing weight, but I still absolutely adore this spread and may recycle it one day. It was basically a goals spread for losing weight. Next theme in April was origami, and I added some simple origami instructions there. One of my water trackers. I started adding a little habit tracker on a weekly basis. This was my exercise tracker. I did my first ever doodle month, and I really loved it actually. It made me much more confident about my ability to do little drawings, and it looks really pretty. I stuck with the same kind of colour theme. Another weekly origami. Still trying to lose weight, so this was a measurement and a weight tracker. Another weekly. This is weight loss as well. This was just a note to myself. I was learning about Instagram, so because I only started using Instagram in March of 2020, so I was trying to work out how to engage with people. Lovely tracker. My first sleep tracker, and I tried to reward myself. Mixed success. Another points tracker. Then this was my first painting month, so this was cockatoos, and I used watercolors, and I hadn't really used watercolors much before and had some really bad efforts, but I got better, and this is one of my favorite months I've ever done. It's all Australian cockatoos and flowers. Another weekly. This is an exercise tracker. I started playing around with quotes so that I could practice my lettering. That's a galah. This was my first, so I actually missed doing journaling, just long form journaling. So this was a combination of long form journaling and the actual bullet journaling method of rapid logging. A few celebratory pages there. Submitted my thesis. Really love this picture, and I'd love to try it again now that I know a bit more about watercolour. This is the first time I had done a spread that was kind of just recording what had happened and using a mix of pictures and stickers. I actually drew these stickers on Procreate on my iPad and then printed them out using my pulley printer. It's a little black and white printer. Another weekly. I've definitely kept up that habit because I find it very useful. Now this month I got really creative, so I decided to do mushrooms, and I went, oh, mushrooms are a bit not very exciting. So I did this nice little June. This is all coloured pencils, and then you can fold out this bit and it goes on top, and I was I'm very proud, still very proud of this spread. Underneath I have my tracker, and that was for the whole month and a whole lot of things there. This could be used as a mood tracker, and this was actually tracking points, but you could use it as a mood tracker. This one pulls up and it kind of is meant to sit up. Another weekly, and then it's another weekly, and this one had the mouse running across the page. So that was a little bit fun. And then we had a pop-up mushroom. This is my brain dump page, and then we had another pop-up. The problem with pop-ups is you do need quite a heavy paper, and because this was only 100 GSM, it didn't work as well as it could have. I think it would be much better in a 160 GSM journal. This was a very simple fold-up to show what was inside the treehouse. That was a mushroom. Another weekly. This was a big thing. So partly because of COVID and various other things going on, my mental health started becoming a bit poor, so I decided to start tracking what the triggers were for a bad day. This was my rewards page, trying to work out a rewards system. And then finally, the review page, we have coloured mushrooms, and then you could slide it down to get a black and white version. So that was a bit fun too. Review. This was a quote I'd found online, and it really rang true for me. First time I did a dream tracker and putting the meaning in. Then in July, so you can see back in my themes spread at the beginning of the year, I had said July would be Aboriginal art, so I'm still sticking to this. And I discovered that Aboriginal art went way beyond what I expected, and there were some really beautiful works. So I actually decided to record actual artists and their style, and I used my HP Sprocket printer to print their paintings, and I wrote some notes about them. So I actually learnt so much about Aboriginal art doing this. So it was a wonderful process. Rock art, a few different trackers there. This is my sleep and water tracker. My first full month mental health tracker. Exercise tracker. You can see the watercolour bleeds through a little bit in this 100 GSM journal. That was probably because I put quite a lot of water on that page. So something to keep in mind. But generally, I think because of the coating, this journal actually coped really well. Another weekly, another weekly, another brain dump, another weekly. This is all done with, well, this is a combination of watercolours and coloured pencils actually. My review and a weekly. And then I decided to sum it up at the end of the month with a bit of an art gallery with my favourite paintings. So kind of with a colour theme though. So really enjoyed that month. Then I loved this month as well. I went into August and I did 1930s fashion. And the big challenge this month was learning to draw faces, and I struggled a little bit. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. This is my sleep tracker. You can't actually see it, but she's actually got an extra face stuck on because I hated the first face I did so much. I was doing a few quotes to practice my lettering, another mental health spread, another weekly, water tracker, weekly. Tried to do my tasks in a separate list, which I actually still like to do now, and it's advanced into using the Alistair method for my trackers. My first ever cleaning tracker, trying to motivate myself to clean, and this just sums me up perfectly. So that's what this whole month is copying from photos, drawing from photos as the inspiration, and I was really proud of some of these drawings. Love this one, another weekly. And then the final review. Love my cleaning tracker. So then in September, I was inspired by the art of Siri Golo. Some of these are mine and some of these are hers. So the fish is mine. Really fun little theme, really bright. And I actually love that they're always framed. It actually gives you a really nice layout. A brain dump, lots happening that month. Another weekly. I didn't actually do much in my review that month. Must have been running late and got distracted. Oh, I know what it would have been. I was setting up a new journal. I decided to do 2 double-page spreads about my dog. He's a beautiful Nova Scotia Duck-Tolling Retriever. And just lots of little bits and pieces using my HP Sprocket to print some photos. And yeah, just added some info about him. And then right at the end of this journal, I reached 200 followers on Instagram. Just a couple of spare pages there, that was all that was left. And then in the back, I did a pen test. I've got a Tombow pen swatch page, and then just swatches for all sorts of other things. This was a measurements page. My niece drew this when she was 8. It's very cute. I stuck it there because I didn't want to lose it. And that was that journal. So that was 9 months from January to September, and then after that I moved into my Archer and Olive journal, which you can find the video for on my website and on my YouTube channel. Thank you.